the flywheel, turning the flywheel. So this has been a concept that's been on my mind recently, friends, family, colleagues, which is essentially maximum leverage in our marketing and sales, and how to grow much more quickly, much more smoothly, much more sustainably. And so this book, Turning the Flywheel from Jim Collins, has really been top of mind, which is we can go out there and do all these activities to quote unquote drum up sales, or we can have a natural flywheel in our business where the more we put into one facet, the more it feeds the next and the next and the next and the next. And so one of the core examples here is from Amazon.com, where very strategically, very focused, they put this in place, which is, for example, lower prices on more offerings leads to increased customer visits, which then attracts third-party sellers because of that traffic, which then means expanding the store, more products, more distribution, which means revenues grow, and then their fixed costs get, of course, lower and lower, which means they can offer even lower prices on even more offerings, and around the flywheel goes. So I've been putting a lot of thought into this for True Freedom's flywheel, and that's what's been very helpful for people this week. And my invitation for you is to take a look at yours here. And another one, well, something to keep in mind is there's 5 here. I've been liking 4, just seems more simple. And another one that I saw is from the founder of Loom Video. So they've got, I think, $1.5 billion valuation. And if I remember it from memory, but it's essentially like, faster upload times means more shares means more customers. And I think there's one more, but it's on and on and on. So the theme with this is that once we get it dialed down, it tends to feel very simple, almost like, oh, duh, simple. But that's the point, is that without this clearly there's a million different metrics in the business. There's a million different things to focus on. And that's what I see with this, is like each of these points of the flywheel are one metric, and there's many metrics rolled up into that. So for example, like they could, take a look at all the prices at all the different categories, or all these different metrics, or you could just consolidate that into one that represents one spoke on the flywheel. So I'm going to put up an example here, actually just share an example here, is from True Freedom. And one of the things that I've been feeling with this that's a key is that the first one is something that is an active strategy. Because like for some reason, well, not for some reason, but for some of these, it's like, oh, more users means this, and then this, and then this, and this. But it's like, what's something that can tangibly be a differentiator here? And so, for example, something that's been on my mind this week for the True Freedom platform is effortless referrals. So far, all of our publishing partners, how can we make it more effortless for them to receive referrals? Because referrals convert 3 to 5 times higher than any other marketing channel, according to Investopedia, something like that. And so more effortless referrals leads to more funding on the True Freedom platform, because it's 10%, or it's a percentage of revenue share, which means more features can be developed to solve the problems in the creator's business, which means their students have more success, which means more referrals for them, and on and on and on. So that may change, but that's where my current thinking is at. So I'd say for today's session, flow state session, can clear away any resistance to, well, I'd say fog first. That's really what it seems to be. Fog to finding what the flywheel is in our own business, and then the resistance to clearing away the clutter to focus on those, because it can be very challenging to focus on the handful of things that matter most and then let go of the rest. And Warren Buffett has this approach to focus and prioritization that I feel like is very powerful, which is writing down a list of all the priorities in the business and then organizing the top 3 at the top. And then everything below that is cut off. It's not, let's put a little time over here and then put the majority of our time in the top 3. It's no, everything that doesn't make the top 3 is actively avoided, apparently, with his strategy. So focus is a matter of saying no rather than saying yes. That's what Steve Jobs says in one of his quotes. So resistance to, once we are clear on what this flywheel could be for our business that, just grows and grows on its own, clearing away any resistance to keeping the focus on those things that matter most. So that is Turning the Flywheel. And we'll hop in here.